WrestleMania 41, the biggest WrestleMania of all time, so they say. The build hasn't quite delivered on that level, and I get it. We're just a few weeks removed from the Royal Rumble. There's still plenty of time. Let it cook. I get it. But right now, I'm going to talk about the build to WrestleMania up to this point so far. And so far, I think it has been very lackluster. And here's why. The World Championship scene is just a mess. And the reason I say that is Jey Uso versus Gunther confirmed on Monday Night Raw. So now we have 2.5 month build of Gunther versus Jey Uso. I don't think Jey Uso can carry a program for 2 months straight with somebody like Gunther. I know Jey did some of his best character work during the pandemic era when he was side by side with Roman, but I think Roman can pull that out of him. I don't think a character like Gunther can quite pull that out of him. And another thing I don't like, why all of a sudden are world champions just safe until WrestleMania? Back in the day, you used to have to put a world title on the line in the Elimination Chamber, or at the very least be defending the title at the PLE, the pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. Cody Rhodes and Gunther seemingly have no title defenses until WrestleMania. We'll see if Cody ends up defending against Solo. The seeds were planted for that. But either way, there's no believability that either of these guys are going to lose the title because they're not even telling the story. I'm not a fan of Jey already being confirmed to face Gunther. What I think should happen is Gunther should have his own feud building towards the Elimination Chamber. And then, following the Elimination Chamber, Jey makes his decision, depending on who the World Heavyweight Champion is and depending who the WWE Champion is. I don't like that Gunther gets to just skate by, right? He didn't even defend his title at the Royal Rumble. At least Cody did. So Gunther gets to just coast the Royal Rumble, doesn't have to defend the title. Coast the Elimination Chamber, doesn't have to defend the title. And then he's safe all the way until WrestleMania. Why are we doing that? I just don't understand that. And I think that is going to leave fans wondering what could have been. Because the World Heavyweight Championship, it doesn't need 2.5 months to build this. I know a WrestleMania main event could have 2.5 months, no problem. The only problem is this match isn't even going to main event. Jey wins the Royal Rumble, but he's not going to main event WrestleMania. Is there a chance he main events night one? Yeah, there's a small chance, but I don't even think he's going to do that. I think they're probably going to have this match be opening night of WrestleMania, be the first match. I don't see this happening in the main event. So we're building 2.5 months towards a story that it has no business even being close to the main event. So right there is one of my biggest issues with the WWE right now. The other side of things, I did mention Cody already. We don't know who he's facing, and that's okay. The Elimination Chamber is to decide his challenger. I have no issues with that. But the problem within that is who's going to win. And I think the direction we're going is going to leave a lot of people upset because I don't think it's going to be Cena. I know some people think it should. I made a video last week talking about why I think Cena's retirement tour has just been off to an awful start. It's because he's not here to build things. He wasn't here to build the Royal Rumble. He showed up at the Rumble, sure. He's not here to build the Elimination Chamber. He's going to be in it. He didn't have to qualify like everybody else. Some people on SmackDown have to qualify through triple threat matches, but yet John Cena's just guaranteed a spot in it. So I certainly don't think it's going to be Cena. So then you have to look around the field. You have Punk, you have Drew, you're probably going to have Rollins, you're going to have Logan Paul. We have the triple threat with Jacob Fatu, Braun Strowman, Damian Priest. For my money, Damian Priest is going to be the one to walk out. I think Fatu and Braun Strowman will be too focused on each other. So Priest will get in there. They kind of already put the direction towards Priest and Drew. So I think that might be to further that story there. So who is it going to be? I think right now, I think the leading candidate should be CM Punk. I think CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes is a feud we're all looking forward to. We've seen them have a couple promo battles leading into the Rumble last year, leading into the Rumble this year. Obviously, these two are money together. I'm still in the camp that I think some way, somehow, the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania is going to be a multi-man match. Whether it's a triple threat, whether it's a fatal four-way, I think something to go down in the Elimination Chamber to set up a multi-man match for the WWE title. I'm still not sure how, given that it is an Elimination Chamber, maybe some sort of double pin, something, but I think we're getting a multi-man match because I don't think they're going to go Cena-Cody one-on-one. I don't think they're going to do CM Punk-Cody either one-on-one. I don't know what they're going to do exactly, but something's going to be done. Now, in terms of the build for other things at WrestleMania, what about The Rock? Where's he been? We see him at Bad Blood. He comes out, he does the shtick, and then nothing. No word, not in the Rumble, not here for the Elimination Chamber. What is The Rock doing? You know, we were looking forward to Roman Reigns versus The Rock. That's the biggest match of all time. A lot of people can't wait to see it. And The Rock's just not here. I just don't get it. And the reason I'm so upset with The Rock not being here is because he came at Bad Blood. He planted the seeds there. If he just didn't show up, it'd be like, okay, he's got commitments. No big deal. We'll see him next year. But why did he show up at Bad Blood? Why did he show up to make you think he was going to be involved? That was just for what? Nothing. A whole lot of nothing. I think Roman right now is kind of put in a spot. He's not in the chamber. I don't think they fully know what they want to do with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania because I think they were planning The Rock, and then now we don't have The Rock. So I think right now he's kind of in limbo, whether it is CM Punk, whether it is Seth Rollins, whether it is that triple threat. I'm not sure, and I don't think they're sure either. We obviously still have the favor from CM Punk floating out there with Paul Heyman. I don't know if that'll tie in before or after Mania, but I just feel like there's a lot of things that are just loose right now. And I don't think it's by design. I think it's by just ignorance. I don't think they planned to have everything open-ended right now. I think we're going to have a good WrestleMania at the end of things. I think a lot of these things will work out. The WWE is too hot right now. There's too many stars, too much talent. But I think right now they're heading down a wrong path that they have to steer the ship again. Because right now it's not heading in a good direction. We have a top star like Drew McIntyre maybe going to go back to the Damian Priest feud. And it's not a disrespectful thing to Priest. I like Priest a lot. But we've already seen Drew versus Priest handful of times. That feud just doesn't move me at this point. And with the work that Drew did in 2024, being the MVP, having rivalry of the year, I think Drew should be placed higher on the card. I don't think it should be a match against Damian Priest. And again, that's not to knock Damian Priest. I just don't think this makes sense for Drew McIntyre. Drew recently moved to SmackDown. If Drew won the Elimination Chamber and we had Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship, I would be okay with that. That's where I think Drew should be. Not in the middle of the match card with somebody like Damian Priest. I think there might be a pivot. Seems like there's a little smoke to the fire of LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre. Fine, give me that. Just don't give me Priest. Again, I like Priest a lot. I just don't feel like this feud is what Drew should be doing. We've seen this. Going back to the Judgment Day, when Priest was still in there, we've seen this for years now. Let's just move in a different direction. As for the tag team titles, there is no clear direction for them. And right now, within the tag division, there is nothing, and I mean nothing, that belongs on the WrestleMania card. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful. There's just no stories. There are no good tag teams running right now. Like the Motor City Machine Guns, I get it. They're great. I'm a big fan of them. But their characters, since they've been presented on WWE television, have been a whole lot of nothing. DIY is just whatever. Street Profits just haven't seemed to got it together since Bobby Lashley left. On the Raw side of things, War Raiders, they're tremendous. We just seen them have their match with the Creeds and it ends in a disqualification. That could have been the Mania match if built properly, but they're just failing to do so. The tag division under Triple H has just not been treated well. I had hopes because the NXT tag division back in the black and gold days was tremendous. My favorite part of NXT. But now, there's just nothing going on. It's almost like splitting the tag team titles was a big mistake for the WWE because they just can't handle two separate tag divisions. Because right now, when you look at these tag team titles, these tag divisions, none of these matches belong on the card. In terms of the mid-card titles, Braun Breaker, maybe against AJ Styles. Sign me up. That's tremendous. That's a match we all want to see. That's a show stealer. That's what the Intercontinental title deserves. It deserves a match of that magnitude. Two of the best wrestlers in a match you can't wait to see. Please give me that match. Braun Breaker, AJ Styles, I'll take that every day of the week. The United States Championship, Shinsuke Nakamura wins it, hasn't defended it since. It's like the title has just disappeared. What was the point of putting the title on Shinsuke? They had no plan for Shinsuke. They just put it on him to change a title. He's hardly even on television. He's not defending the title. The United States title doesn't deserve a match at WrestleMania right now either. They're probably going to end up doing some sort of multi-man match, whether it's a ladder match or whatever it is. That's what I think they're going to do. And I know these matches are fun, but the reason they have to do it is because they haven't invested in the mid-card. They haven't told the stories. They're just going to throw it together, have it hang in a ladder match, and then we're all going to forget how bad the United States title scene has been. Now, as far as the women's side of things, Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair, perfect. Dream match. Can't wait to see that. Nailed it. Let's get Charlotte to make things official there. Because as of right now, we're kind of just waiting for it. Let's make that official because I'm going to guess Tiffany Stratton doesn't have to defend her title either. Gunther doesn't. Cody doesn't. So I'm sure she's safe. We don't need to put titles on the line. You're champion at the Royal Rumble. You're champion until WrestleMania, apparently. That's the new norm. So let's just make it official. If she doesn't have to defend it, let's make it official. Rhea with the Women's World Championship. A lot of people wanted Io Sky. She's not even in the chamber. That match is going to happen on Raw following the chamber. So that's not your WrestleMania match. Then you got to look at the field and figure out who Rhea's going to face at WrestleMania. I hope it's not Liv again. That story's been told. That story's over as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to see it again. There are other things for Liv to do on the card. There are mid-card titles now. We're just done with this feud. I'm good with it. Let's do something else. So if it's not Io, it's not Liv, I don't know who Rhea's going to face. I think that's a mistake on their end. Rhea is obviously a top talent. It might end up being Bianca. A lot of people want that match. That's a dream match. That's a match that's worthy of a main event of WrestleMania. But I don't think now's the time. I don't think Bianca versus Rhea should happen at this year's WrestleMania. That's more of a story that needs months to develop, not Bianca wins the Elimination Chamber. I want that story to be told over the course of months, not within a month because she qualified for the match after winning the Chamber. So with that being said, I'm not sure what's going to happen. Of course, she's still holding the tag team title. I don't think she's going to go into WrestleMania challenging for the Women's World title while being a tag team champion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the match is Bianca versus Rhea. And I'm not going to complain about the match. But what I would complain about is the story. The build. That feud deserves more than what that would be. So as of right now, I think a lot of these titles don't have clear directions, and the ones that do aren't in great shape. Like I said, Braun Breaker, AJ Styles, Intercontinental title, perfect. Charlotte, Tiffany Stratton, perfect. Jay, Gunther, I get what they're doing. I just don't want to see Gunther just get to coast until WrestleMania as world champion. As of right now, I think the WrestleMania build has been awful. With that being said, we're still 2 months away. They have plenty of time to recover. The Rock could show up next week. Cena could win the Elimination Chamber. Roman could, start showing up, building his feud. Whatever happens, I'm not sure. I'm going to let it play out, see what happens. But as of right now, I can be critical of what has happened up to this point. And as of right now, it has not been great. And I have been massively disappointed. Guys, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.